Ugh. Scary.
Gonorrhea, 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 gonorrhea.
Isn't awesome.
Gorror.
God, he reigns.
Welcome to another spooky review for the month of Gorror. And this time I am taking a look at a video game like I did yesterday with The Wolf Among Us. This time I am taking a look at Diablo 3, which is very much a Halloween type game. It has demons, ghosts, banshees, spooky stuff. You kill them, blood everywhere. Hey, it works. It's horror themed. It counts. So, you know what? I'm here to review it. It's not going to be the most in-depth review like I usually do with my video game reviews, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. So let's get straight into it with Diablo 3, my 13th review for the month of Gorror. Ooh, that's a spooky number. Let's talk about it. The story for Diablo 3, I'm going to be completely honest, it's not great. It's pretty bland for the most part. So I'll explain it a little bit, but not too thorough. The story here follows one of 5 classes that you can pick straight off the bat. You can either be a barbarian, witch doctor, wizard, monk, or a demon hunter. And each one you can actually pick either male or female, which is new for Diablo. So you can be either a male or female for each one of the classes, and each character is actually different. It's not like your character never talks. Your character does talk, which I actually found kind of impressive. So you play as this character, and of course, this fantasy world, there's demons, ghosts everywhere, just infesting the world, and you have to go and pretty much take care of them, do a bunch of missions for people, and of course, at the end, fight Diablo, just like the title would suggest. So that's pretty much the story, really. I mean, there is more story, and there's more characters along the way, and for the most part, they're okay, but nothing amazing here. So there you go. There's the story for Diablo 3. Now, the reason why most people want to play this game, most people, is not because of the story. It's because of the gameplay. And Diablo 3, just like Diablo 2, delivers in spades. It is so addictive to just roam around an environment, kill a bunch of creatures, try to level up, get new attacks and spells or whatnot, and get new loot. Oh my god, getting loot in this game is insane. There's so much loot, and every time I got a new piece of loot, it was something completely different, had different stats or whatnot. You know, some of them were stronger or had different like attributes or something like that. It was just so much fun collecting all of this stuff. It is so entertaining. It delivers completely. You can pick from 5 classes in the beginning, like I said. They are the monk, wizard, demon hunter, barbarian, and the witch doctor. And each one has their own distinct abilities. Say you pick the monk. He or she is really good with their hands more than they're good with swords or, you know, like archery, bows or something like that. Say you pick a barbarian. They're really good with two-handed, really heavy weapons. And also, some characters can't use other equipment. Say you're the barbarian, you can't use archery equipment and stuff like that. So each one is distinct, and if you really love the game, you want to go back and forth and try different characters because they're all different. They all have their own different pieces of dialogue and stuff, and they all play differently too. And they all have, of course, their own set of moves to do. As you would expect from Diablo, at times there's just so many enemies on screen at once. There's like times where there's like 15 or 20 enemies on screen and you have to murderize them all over, just kill each one of them, and it's just a great feeling, especially since each one of the characters you play as have different moves that you can try out, like I said. When you're progressing and you're leveling up, you can start using different equipment, and of course you start to gain new abilities to use, which is awesome. Each one is very distinct too. It's not like, hey, now you unlocked a better version of your kick. No, now you unlocked one that can heal you or something like that. There's a lot of really cool distinct abilities to use, and I love that. Especially since there's so many enemies on the screen, I get to use all of them at once. It never feels like the game slows down in action. It's always going at you, and it never gets boring. It really doesn't. It's always addictive. You want to go into the next level, see what new equipment or new ability you can use. It's just so much fun. Now, Diablo 3 isn't the longest game out there. You can probably complete it in about 15 hours if you just go all the way through. Now, if you like to explore and stuff, it might take you a little bit longer, but for the most part, exploring is rewarding, but it's not needed. It's a lot of fun to explore, though, don't get me wrong. The world itself is pretty big for the most part. The story, while not the greatest out there, is well-paced for the most part, so it never really gets boring with all the missions you have to do. It's a lot of fun, especially since it has 4-player co-op. Oh boy, 4-player co-op in this game is so much fun. I didn't play with anybody I knew personally, but I played with a bunch of people I didn't know, and I had a blast just going around destroying enemies one after another. It never slowed down. The gameplay was always fun. It's fast, it's fluid. It's Diablo, baby, and I love it. So it's fun playing multiplayer. It's fun by yourself. It's a big world to explore and have fun with. It's very rewarding. There's a lot of level up. There's a lot of abilities to get. It's just so much fun. It truly is. Now, sound-wise and graphically, the voice acting is really good. All of the creature sounds, and every time you destroy them, it sounds really, really fulfilling. It definitely does when you're fighting an enemy and they just burst into blood and you just hear that squishy sound. Very fulfilling. The graphics themselves, now, in-game graphics don't look amazing. The environments themselves and the amount of enemies on screen is actually very impressive, especially since it doesn't slow down the gameplay. But if you get close enough to your character, you can see that it does not look very good. It looks actually very dated. But for the most part, the graphics are pretty good for the most part, especially when it gets to the cutscenes. The CG cutscenes, Blizzard, oh my god. Blizzard might not make the most impressive looking in-game games, but when it comes to CG, oh, they are just amazing. The CG here is groundbreaking in my opinion. Some of the best I've ever seen. So there you go. Graphically and sound-wise, not the best, but still really good. But overall, Diablo 3 is just so much fun. So bloody, so many different creatures to kill, so many disgusting things to see, environmental and creature-wise. It's just so much fun. It really is. Go pick up Diablo 3 on Xbox, PS3, and if you already have a PC, most likely you already have it. But definitely go try it out if you haven't. It's so much fun, especially with friends or people you don't know, like I played with. So there you go. There's my review for Diablo 3. Definitely go check it out. Thank you, and goodbye.